June 12, 1991, 9:47 p.m., the Palace of Auburn Hills, Detroit. Game 5 of the NBA Finals between the Chicago Bulls and Los Angeles Lakers was supposed to be entertainment, but 33-year-old Prince Rogers Nelson had discovered it was something far more sinister. Through his friendship with Lakers point guard Magic Johnson, Prince had learned that certain referees were deliberately manipulating game outcomes to extend the series and maximize television revenue. The evidence was overwhelming: suspicious foul calls, inconsistent rule enforcement, and patterns that could only be explained by deliberate game manipulation. As Prince prepared for his halftime performance, a last-minute addition to boost ratings, he faced an impossible choice: deliver the entertainment NBA executives expected, or use the biggest stage in basketball to expose a corruption scandal that would shake professional sports to its foundation. What Prince did during those 12 minutes at halftime didn't just change the outcome of the finals, it transformed how America understood the relationship between sports, entertainment, and truth. If you believe that true artists have a responsibility to speak truth to power, even when it costs them everything, and that some moments demand choosing integrity over opportunity, please subscribe to witness the story that proves the most powerful performances are the ones that risk everything to protect what matters most. Prince's connection to professional basketball had developed gradually through his friendship with Magic Johnson, whom he'd met at industry parties in Los Angeles during the mid-1980s. Magic was not just one of the NBA's biggest stars, but also one of its most intelligent observers, someone who understood the business side of basketball as well as anyone in the league. Their friendship had deepened in 1990 when Magic was going through personal struggles related to his health concerns and retirement considerations. Prince had become someone Magic could confide in, an artist who understood the pressures of performing at the highest level while dealing with industry politics that most fans never saw. During private conversations in early 1991, Magic had begun sharing his concerns about what he was witnessing during the playoffs. Games that should have been decided by player performance were being influenced by officiating decisions that seemed designed to extend series rather than ensure fair competition. "Prince, I've been playing this game for 12 years, Magic had told him during a phone conversation in May 1991. "I know the difference between bad calls and deliberate manipulation. What's happening isn't just poor officiating, it's systematic game control." Magic explained that television contracts had created enormous financial pressure to extend playoff series. Each additional game meant millions more in advertising revenue, and certain individuals within the NBA hierarchy had found ways to influence game outcomes without technically fixing scores. "They're not telling players to lose," Magic clarified. "They're instructing referees to make calls that create specific game situations. Close games, controversial moments, series that go the maximum number of games. It's all about television drama and advertising dollars." Prince had initially been skeptical of these claims, but Magic provided specific examples that were difficult to dismiss. Foul statistics that varied dramatically between games, timeout patterns that seemed designed to accommodate commercial breaks, and referee assignments that correlated with desired series lengths. The 1991 NBA Finals between the Chicago Bulls and Los Angeles Lakers represented the perfect opportunity for this kind of manipulation. Michael Jordan versus Magic Johnson was a marketing dream, and extending the series to 7 games would generate unprecedented television revenue. When the NBA approached Prince about performing at halftime of Game 5, the request came with unusual urgency. The series was currently tied 2-2, and television executives were concerned about maintaining viewer interest if one team pulled too far ahead. A Prince performance would guarantee massive ratings regardless of the game's competitive balance. Prince agreed to the halftime show, but insisted on creative control over the performance content. NBA executives, focused primarily on the marketing value of his appearance, readily accepted these terms without understanding what Prince was planning. The evidence Magic had shared with Prince was compelling but circumstantial. What Prince needed was concrete proof that would be impossible to dismiss or rationalize. Magic helped him obtain documentation that revealed the smoking gun. internal NBA communications that explicitly discussed using officiating to, quote, manage game tempo and competitive balance for optimal television presentation. The documents included referee assignments correlated with desired series outcomes, instructions about timeout timing to accommodate advertising schedules, and most damning bonus payments to officials based on series length rather than game quality. Prince realized he was holding evidence of systematic corruption that affected not just individual games, but the integrity of professional sports. The question was what to do with this information. Publishing the documents through traditional media would take weeks and would allow the NBA to control the narrative through their extensive public relations apparatus. Filing complaints with league officials would be futile since the corruption came from within the league hierarchy itself. But Prince had something no journalist or legal investigator possessed: access to 35 million live television viewers during the NBA Finals halftime show. The Palace of Auburn Hills was electric as Game 5 reached halftime with the Lakers leading 58-52, exactly the kind of close, competitive game that television executives preferred. Prince took the stage for what everyone expected would be a typical celebrity halftime performance designed to entertain rather than inform. Instead, Prince did something that no one, not NBA officials, not television executives, not even Magic Johnson, saw coming. "Good evening, basketball fans," Prince began, his voice carrying clearly through the arena's sound system and into homes across America. "I was invited here tonight to entertain you during halftime, but I've learned something that I think is more important than entertainment. I've learned that what you're watching isn't entirely real." Before we reveal how Prince used basketball's biggest stage to expose systematic corruption and what happened when 35 million viewers learned that their entertainment was being manipulated, let me ask you, have you ever discovered that something you trusted was built on deception? Have you seen someone risk everything to tell an uncomfortable truth? Share your thoughts in the comments, because what happened next proved that some moments require choosing integrity over safety. The arena fell silent as Prince's words registered with the crowd. Television viewers, expecting music, found themselves watching something unprecedented: a live expose during the NBA Finals. For the past month, I've been shown evidence that games in this playoff series have been influenced by factors other than player performance, Prince continued, his tone serious but calm. Referees have been instructed to make calls designed to extend series length rather than ensure fair competition. NBA officials in the arena's control room immediately understood the magnitude of what was happening. This wasn't a wardrobe malfunction or unexpected technical problem. This was a deliberate attempt to expose internal league operations on live television. Cut to commercial. NBA Commissioner David Stern reportedly told television producers. But cutting away from Prince's performance would create even more suspicion and attention than allowing him to continue. Prince pulled out documents and held them up to the cameras. "These are internal NBA communications that prove certain individuals have been manipulating game outcomes for television revenue. This isn't about players trying less hard or games being fake. It's about officiating being used as a tool to create television drama rather than ensure fair competition." The crowd in the arena was stunned into silence, uncertain how to react to accusations they had never imagined. Television viewers were witnessing something unprecedented in sports entertainment: a real-time exposure of systematic corruption during the event being corrupted. "Magic Johnson trusted me with this information because he believes basketball fans deserve to know the truth about what they're watching," Prince continued. "These documents show that referee assignments, foul calling patterns, and even timeout timing have been coordinated to maximize television revenue rather than maintain competitive integrity." Prince then did something that made his allegations impossible to ignore. He provided specific predictions about how the second half of the current game would be officiated, based on the patterns he had documented. "If I'm right about this systematic manipulation," Prince said, "here's what you'll see in the second half. The Lakers will be called for more fouls to allow the Bulls to close the scoring gap. Timeout patterns will accommodate commercial scheduling regardless of game flow, and critical calls in the final minutes will favor whichever outcome extends the series toward a seventh game." Having made specific, testable predictions that could be verified in real time, Prince concluded his halftime presentation with a challenge to viewers. Watch the second half with these patterns in mind. Judge for yourselves whether what you see looks like natural game flow or orchestrated television drama. Prince left the stage to confused applause and immediately became the center of the biggest sports scandal in decades. NBA officials were furious, television executives were panicking, and basketball fans were about to watch the second half of Game 5 with unprecedented scrutiny. What happened during the second half provided shocking confirmation of Prince's allegations. Every pattern he had predicted materialized exactly as described. The Lakers were called for 7 fouls compared to 2 for the Bulls, allowing Chicago to eliminate their halftime deficit. Timeouts were called at moments that seemed designed to accommodate commercial breaks rather than respond to game situations. Most dramatically, a crucial charging foul call against Magic Johnson in the final minutes, a call that contradicted clear video evidence, allowed the Bulls to take control of the game. Television ratings spiked during the second half as viewers who had never paid attention to officiating patterns began noticing the suspicious timing and nature of referee decisions. Sports commentators, initially dismissive of Prince's allegations, found themselves unable to explain the patterns viewers were witnessing. The Bulls won Game 5 by 3 points, a close margin that perfectly set up the drama for Game 6 in Chicago. But the real drama was happening off the court, as Prince's allegations triggered investigations that would expose the full scope of NBA corruption. The FBI launched an immediate investigation into Prince's charges, using the documents he had provided as the foundation for a comprehensive examination of NBA officiating practices. Within 72 hours, federal agents had uncovered additional evidence of systematic game manipulation involving multiple referees, league officials, and television executives. Magic Johnson, initially concerned about the personal and professional consequences of Prince's revelations, publicly supported the investigation during a press conference the day after Game 5. "Prince didn't do this to hurt basketball," Magic explained. "He did it to save basketball. The game I love was being corrupted, and fans deserve to know the truth." The investigation revealed that systematic game manipulation had been occurring for several years, generating an estimated $500 million in additional television revenue through extended playoff series. 17 NBA officials, including 3 vice presidents and 11 referees, were eventually charged with conspiracy, fraud, and racketeering. Commissioner David Stern, while not personally implicated in the manipulation scheme, resigned in disgrace for failing to prevent or detect the corruption. The NBA faced congressional hearings, massive civil lawsuits, and a crisis of fan confidence that threatened the league's viability. But Prince's exposure of the corruption also led to comprehensive reforms that ultimately strengthened professional basketball's integrity. New oversight systems were implemented to monitor referee performance and prevent manipulation. Independent review boards were established to ensure competitive fairness. Most importantly, the NBA adopted transparency requirements that allowed fans to access officiating statistics and decision-making processes that had previously been hidden. The 1991 NBA Finals were completed under emergency oversight, with federal monitors ensuring that Games 6 and 7 were officiated fairly. The Bulls won the championship, but the victory was overshadowed by the ongoing scandal and investigation. Prince faced immediate retaliation from NBA and television industry figures who blamed him for destroying their lucrative manipulation scheme. He was banned from NBA arenas, excluded from major television events, and faced legal threats from individuals implicated in the corruption. But Prince also received unprecedented support from athletes, fans, and integrity advocates who recognized the courage required to expose systematic fraud at personal and professional cost. Michael Jordan, despite benefiting from some of the questionable officiating Prince had exposed, publicly praised Prince's actions during the championship celebration. "What Prince did took more courage than anything we did on the court," Jordan said. "He risked his career to protect the integrity of the game we all love. That's real heroism." The long-term impact of Prince's halftime exposé extended far beyond basketball. His willingness to use entertainment platform to expose corruption inspired similar revelations in other sports and entertainment industries. Olympic judging practices, professional wrestling's predetermined outcomes, and even television game show manipulations were exposed by insiders who had been inspired by Prince's example of choosing integrity over industry loyalty. When Prince died in 2016, the NBA, now operating under the transparency and oversight systems his revelations had created, honored him during the finals as someone who had saved professional basketball's integrity through personal sacrifice. Magic Johnson spoke at Prince's memorial service about their friendship and the conversation that had led to the corruption exposure. Prince taught me that friendship sometimes means asking someone to risk everything for the truth, Magic said. He could have performed a song and collected his fee. Instead, he chose to protect millions of fans who trusted that what they were watching was real. That's not just artistic integrity, that's human integrity. The Palace of Auburn Hills, where Prince delivered his corruption-exposing halftime performance, was demolished in 2020. But the site now features a monument with a quote from Prince's halftime speech: "Truth is more important than entertainment when entertainment is built on deception." Prince Rogers Nelson proved that night that true artists understand their platforms exist not just to entertain, but to protect truth when truth is under attack. He showed that the most powerful performances are sometimes the ones that risk everything to ensure that others can trust what they see. A halftime show that was supposed to boost television ratings instead exposed the systematic corruption behind those ratings, proving that some moments demand choosing integrity over opportunity, regardless of the personal cost. If this story reminds you that the greatest artists are those who use their platforms to protect truth rather than just pursue profit, and that real heroism often means risking everything to defend what millions of others take for granted, please subscribe to keep these stories alive. Because the world needs more examples of how courage, when expressed through influence, can transform entire systems.